am also now counting down the days for the T app to be released in Canada. Oh!
I just seen a video about the T app where these women were talking about this one dude who was spreading around HIV, and they said he infected at least 35 women.
5 women have been recently unalived for using the T app to expose men for cheating, wrongdoing, and abuse.
So if them comments start saying, oh, his is good, baby, they're gonna start getting out, they're gonna start following your name.
As we could all see, this app wasn't about safety anymore. It started to be used for gossip, revenge, maybe getting even. And yes, a lot of women were using this app to get even with the man that did them dirty, but the men's retaliation was even dirtier.
What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Janae Danielle. Shout out to Janae. I love her videos. She really smart. I know she for the girls, but I love both perspectives. You know what I mean? I'm a person that looks for truth, that looks for authenticity, and looks for stuff that just makes a lot of the most logical sense. You know what I mean? So with that being said, today's video is Yelp for Men backfired and started a dangerous gender war. So this is about the T app. If you're not sure what the T app is, you have definitely been living under a rock. But yeah, T app definitely started a gender war. Well, it didn't start. It just continued. The already present gender war that is not going anywhere anytime soon. You would think with all this gender information that we trying to keep everybody in the center, that the more we keep people in the center, they just get further and further apart. Don't make no sense. But I don't want to hold y'all up. We're gonna get into this video. But before we get into this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping the PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? So without further ado, let's just get into the video.
This app was meant to protect women's dating lives, and it winded up exposing their private lives to the entire internet. At first, it looked like women were just sharing their experiences, looking out for each other. But then the posts got messier and the screenshots started leaking, and what was a private space turned into a public battlefield, with men and women around the world tearing each other apart. In this video, we're not choosing sides. We're unpacking how a private app turned into public chaos, how women took it too far and men retaliated in the most disturbing and illegal way possible, and then how the whole thing spiraled into a global gender war. I hope y'all have a snack, a blanket, and child, maybe even a Bible, because this gets messy fast. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, we become bestie enough for you to take that next step. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like this video because it shows YouTube that you like this video. All right, let's get into it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if you've never heard of the T app, you've probably been living under a rock. And I mean like full on Patrick Star style under a rock. Because where have you been? But no, seriously, it's probably a good thing if you've never heard of that app because it got real toxic real fast. The app T was quietly launched in 2023. It was invite only and strictly for women. It was branded as a dating safety network where women could anonymously post the men that they've dated and dealt with and share their experiences. Whether he ghosted, cheated, lied, or even if his breath stank.
One thing that really stood out to me is the amount of men that's being posted. I'm seeing comments like the breath is horrible, the breath gets down. Why is the dentist not being utilized? I'm just so confused.
Think of it like a Yelp review for that restaurant that you wanted to check down the street, but instead it was a review for men's behavior. And a lot of women also went on this app to check and see if their man was dealing with another woman. Kind of like those "Are we dating the same man?" Facebook groups. You could go on the T app and not only get the tea, but get a full background check on your sneaky link. Now, let's get this straight though, because a lot of people assume that this app was created strictly to be messy, but I'm gonna tell you that's not the case. This entire app was built on privacy. It had a strict no screenshot rule. Keep that in mind. You couldn't screenshot. You had to use your ID, like actual government issued ID, to get approved on the app. And in theory, It all made sense, especially when you touch on the fact that a lot of these women that use the app were exposing men for being abusive or dangerous.
To you, I think that the T app is pointless. Let me tell you something. All that whole, women are just bitter and they're just saying anything, da da da. And the bitter be, you cheated on her sister, you probably beat her up, maybe slapped her a couple times, or you committed SA. Are you dead right now?
So, the whole concept of this app was to intentionally protect women. But here's where it got messy. Because while there were women that followed the rules, shared real experiences, and used the app how it was intended to be used, there were also a lot of women that saw this as their opportunity. Their opportunity to be petty. Their opportunity to drag a man's name with no repercussions.
Honestly, believe half of what you see on there. Spare these men just a little bit. I believe there's a lot of salty women on there just talking about these men because they don't want other girls to like them.
And
and all that does is make them like them more. I mean, that's just kind of how that works. But there's always bad faith actors in everything you do. That's just across all aspects of life. You let some people in, then some people gonna always take it to the extreme. And like, it's like, why? Like, why are we doing that? Like, but that's just how people are. You know what I mean? People find, which is you're being creative in a way, but in a wrong way. Like, take that same energy and create something that's valuable to the world, not just being petty because he ghosted you because he didn't like you for whatever reason or whatever. I mean, ghosting isn't cool. It's not a crime. It isn't cool, but you ain't gotta say his breath stank because he ghosted you, because if he invited you on another date, you probably would have went.
July 2025, things kind of started to spiral. The app had been around for a while, but it wasn't until now that it completely blew up. When I tell y'all, this app went viral, and for all the wrong reasons. I'm talking about people finding their boyfriends on the app, women exposing cheating husbands, and even women finding out that they were dating the same man.
Everything was all fun and games until I seen my little shit on that T app. Y'all can keep that. And then, mind you, I'm not the one that posted about my little shit. So who's more worried about my little shit than I am?
Honestly though, the scariest part isn't just what people were posting. It was how easy it was to tie real people to these posts. I'm talking full names, clear photos, full addresses. And I'm not saying that the men who did these women dirty did not deserve to be held accountable. Let's get that straight. But to be doxxed, that's where we may have to draw the line, ladies. It made me wonder.
But that because, too, in all due respect to women, I mean, this is how I kind of go. That's why you never mess with a petty woman, because they will out petty you. But this is their game. As a man, if you watching this, women that are petty, by the women that are petty, and that's just who they are, they will out petty. You will not out petty them. You shouldn't want to out petty them, but they will definitely out petty you. So don't even. You be careful. It's a dangerous game out there.
Just how easy it was to actually find somebody's personal information online. So, like the messy wife that I am. Hey babe. So I'm not looking you up on the T app, so don't worry, we're not doing that. But I am gonna look up your full government name and see what we find. Okay. Hold on. Your phone number is right?
Yeah.
And this is literally our address. Bro, that's literally our address.
How are you getting this information? Like, did it leak or something?
No, you can pretty much Google anyone or anything and find personal information just like this.
How?
Because these sites are run by data brokers. They collect your personal information, they package it up, and they can sell it to anyone they want to.
I didn't even know you could do that.
That's creepy. It's actually terrifying how little control we have over where our personal information winds up. If you're anything like me, you use Google every single day. They're collecting our data, but we can't really do anything about it because we depend on it. That's why I use Aura, who is sponsoring this video.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I rock with her. She brought that damn sponsorship in so smoothly. I sensed it when she closed the MacBook or the Google thing, whatever that was. And I was like, nah, that she not about to go into a sponsorship drop. Nah, I think she is. Nah, that was good. That's how you bring in a sponsorship. Man, that was a good one. Yeah, I'm definitely skipping this though, because they not paying me. Heck no.
App that basically gave them the tools to do the same thing. So let me tune y'all in on the gravity of all of this. Okay, so the T app started going viral, but it wasn't like some basic, maybe over here in America viral. It was more of like a worldwide viral.
I am also now counting down the days for the T app to be released in Canada. Oh!
This app was #1 on the App Store, had over 4 million users, all in a matter of weeks. And if you wanted to get into the app, you had to be put on a wait list. Again! You basically had to be put on a wait list to be messy and nosy, because at this point we know 4 million women aren't trying to see if they're all dating the same man. So now we have millions of women tripping and running hurdles trying to get into this app. They were downloading it out of pure curiosity, but also, like we said, they were being nosy, treating it like a gossip club, swiping through it like it was a T page. And the more people talked about it, the more drama that went viral on TikTok, the more women joined the app with nothing to contribute. Well, they did contribute in some way, but not the way that you think. They didn't contribute by maybe posting a man that cheated on them or exposing a man for giving them something, because yes, that was a very real and important part of the app too.
I just seen a video about the T app where these women were talking about this one dude who was spreading around HIV, and they said he infected at least 35 women, some of them knowing, some of them not knowing.
Wow. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under 3 jails. And then cement it with cement. Like not, okay. We just gonna keep going.
No, they did their big one by screenshotting everything. Y'all remember that no screenshot rule we spoke about earlier? Y'all also remember how we discussed that a lot of women would responsibly go on this app to post their abusers to help other women. Well, here's where it started going left very fast. Women started screenshotting these posts, but they weren't just screenshotting the messy and petty posts. They were definitely screenshotting them, but those weren't the only ones. No, they were leaking the post about dangerous men. Okay, it sounds like a good idea at first, until you realize that the women that posted about him are being caught in the crossfire.
Let me put this in stupid terms for y'all. The ones that are f***ing up the T app and letting the men know that they're actually on the T app. The moment that you read out loud or you get that stinky iPad and you record what people are saying when it's supposed to be anonymous, they're gonna put 2 and 2 together. They're gonna know, oh my gosh, I went through this with XYZ, with Brittany or whoever the and guess what? I'm gonna reach out to Brittany and I'm either gonna put her in harm's way or I'm gonna send out that cease and desist letter.
Some of these stories were very serious. They were about men who were violent, controlling, and even abusive. And when you take that kind of post and just throw it on TikTok, you're not just warning other women, you're alerting him.
To the women, make sure that you're not putting the whole entire story of what happened to you. Just say he is an abuser, he assaulted me, he commits DV. Do not give no well written out story of what happened, because these women are telling their homeboys, they're telling their friends, they're telling their brothers, they're telling niggas that they want to with, that ain't giving them the time of day, that they want to get like, you know, in good cahoots with in order to snitch on you. And guess what? They're gonna put 2 and 2 together. They're gonna make them read the story out loud and say, hey, I remember this was so and so, now I'm putting her in danger.
So if he comes across that post, he's most likely gonna know who posted it, and there's a chance that he's gonna go after her.
I just found out who put me on that app. Why you lied? I never touched you on my dead brother. All that T app. I just found out who put me on the T app. You poor as hell. I never touch you.
She's no longer anonymous. Even worse, she's in danger. So that's where this whole thing stopped being helpful and started being dangerous.
Five women have been recently unalived for using the T app to expose men for cheating, wrongdoing, and abuse. It's just crazy out here.
I heard about that too, but I don't know how true that is. I mean, it could be very true, but it was no like actual sources. Like I keep hearing 5 people, but you're not like if 5 people were unalive, then just put the names out of the 5 people that because without no names, this is just like you just saying stuff. But neither here nor there.
Sure that you are, not posting anybody that you know is violent and just staying safe because you never know what could happen to you. Based on this article, these women were sent a Lipton tea box with their name on it and threatened that, something was going to happen to them.
What was supposed to be a safe space for women turned into flat out entertainment. And people weren't reading these posts to protect themselves. They were reading these posts to laugh, repost, comment, share.
Child, this T app is getting out of control. And I'm nosy, so I wanted to know what the hell it was. So I started sharing to my homegirls and everything.
And the second the privacy left, so did the validation of those posts. Because once screenshots started hitting the timeline, y'all, the app was so viral, you couldn't really tell what was real and what was just straight BS.
Right, yeah, because I didn't know. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I ain't know nothing. I didn't even know this app was available for the past 2 years. So, I mean, it's good that women been able to protect themselves. But people look for clout. And people look for sympathy points. So, and people like, and they also look, like, some people got good intentions by posting it online. But some people just want to look, they just want to look like a savior by posting online. But what they actually, like you say, what they actually doing is putting other people in danger. But they don't care because they're not in danger. They're just posting it. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword because it's like, it's that little gray area that people like to play in. And then that can really deter a lot of people.
Especially when women were posting men on the app because they gave them gay vibes.
My nigga, how the f did I get on the T app? I used to work with him. He gave me gay vibes. What? I only worked one job with females, bro. And I was at Olive Garden when I was a server. And the reason why I didn't with none of y'all is because y'all was already all the niggas on the job.
Do y'all see how this app spiraled? Don't get me wrong, the app definitely did have posts of men that were definitely red flags. So if a man was lying, cheating, being reckless, down low, y'all, the list goes on. A lot of women called that karma. But what about the men who were safe?
They said I'm a TikTok and everything, but I'm good for nothing but dancing. I bet.
Since the app didn't let men respond or defend themselves, there was no context, there was no second slide. It was just 2 red flags and his teeth are yellow comment.
Mother keep texting me talking about some, I see you on the T app, you across the T app. What the f is the T app? And then y'all so messy because how the f my business all on the app and I can't go on there and see it because I'm a boy. So I can't go on this app just because I'm a boy to see what the a group of bitches talking about me for. Like, y'all gotta stop playing, bro. This getting out of hand.
If we really wanted to get technical, what is a red flag nowadays? Because you have some women stating that a man breathing weird is a red flag. Y'all remember when that ick era was popular and women were getting the ick from their boyfriends or people who they were talking to for random reasons? I literally seen a post of a...
And I recently just did a video with a player tech and he was talking about aura. And whenever your oral points drop, that's when you fall into that ick category. And sometimes it's a cute thing for women. Like sometimes they think that's a cute thing, and sometimes it's a real ick. It just depends on the women. Women love aesthetic. Ain't a bad thing. It's just how it is. Just how dudes like aura, I guess, right? It's just aesthetic, you know what I mean? So you just got to be careful with that.
Girl that got the ick because her man was treading water. God forbid a man knows how to swim. But serious posts on the T app started getting buried by the foolishness. Let's be real. If you're scrolling on the T app and you come across a post that says, he held me at gunpoint, and then the next post, it's, he's a red flag because he chews too loud. What are we supposed to get from that? What are we supposed to... No woman is going to be taking this app seriously, and eventually no woman did.
So I downloaded the T page. Don't get me wrong, I'm single, but I was just being nosy trying to see who was on there. But one thing I noticed, y'all ain't got no morals. A girl supposed to do and he look halfway decent. All y'all in the comments asking for his IG, talk about, oh, I'm trying to crack necks. I'm trying to crack neck. What?
Y'all might want to think twice before posting y'all up on that T page to try to clock anything, because if anything, them scrolling and shopping for. So if them comments start saying, oh, his is good, baby, they're gonna start getting out. They're gonna start following your name.
As we could all see, this app wasn't about safety anymore. It started to be used for gossip, revenge, maybe getting even. And yes, a lot of women were using this app to get even with the man that did them dirty, but the men's retaliation was even dirtier. Okay, so we're gonna lock in for a second because most of my viewers are female. So ladies, I want us to really step back out of our shoes and maybe imagine ourselves in a man's.
And for those that, because most of my subscribers, I ain't got many. Hit the like, subscribe button so you can add to that pot. Anyway, most of them are men too. So, but we already went through the first half. So yeah, we about to be in our bag, I guess. I don't know.
And no, not the creepy men who actually deserve to be on this app. I'm talking about an innocent man who maybe went on a few dates with a woman, it didn't work out, and now you're watching yourself being rated like a Yelp review by complete strangers, and they are dragging you by your character, by your looks. Your face is being reposted on all social media platforms, and you can't delete it, you can't defend yourself, and the whole internet is speaking down on your character. Let's just be real for a second. Wouldn't you snap?
Man, they got me on the T app. Dean went back and forth since March. Things have been going well, blah, blah, blah. He just pretty secretive with his phone, but I wouldn't. I just want to know the T. You should have asked me. I would have just told you myself.
Now listen, I've said this countless times. I know there are a lot of men that deserve to be on this app, especially the dangerous ones. But once women started taking advantage of this app and realized that they could go viral off of a few laughs and maybe an insane story, and once men felt called out, accused, and offended.
And for the who gave me a red flag on that T app, that's why your mama's a hoe and your knees build backwards and your breasts smell like Rockwaller bark. That's why your braids underneath that weave don't reach your neck, you fat back.
Things flipped and it eventually turned into the gender war we all seen coming. Men started to feel powerless once they realized they were being rated, dragged, and talked about online. So what?
Hey, with great power comes great responsibility. As a Spider-Man fan, I hold that quote to my heart. Women, y'all are in control in this situation. You have to be responsible. I get that we in this like patriarchal system. That don't mean make it a matriarchal system. That is just as bad. To some people, they might even feel it being worse. To each his own. But we gotta be responsible. With great power comes great responsibility. If y'all supposed to be the more moral, ethical ones, we need to see that with this app. This app's supposed to be a representation of your good morals and good ethics, not the representation of the opposite. And I know you can say, well, that's not all of us. Respectfully, I get it. But just how y'all defend each other when one is done wrong, you need to hold each other accountable when one of them is wrong. Just like she's doing. Shout out to Janae. I respect that. And some of the other girls in the little short clip she put. But that need to be the majority.
They do.
And that means you need to decode the girls' code.
Well, first, they started trying to break into the app.
So y'all females must forgot that got homegirls, you feel me? So me and my homegirl chatting it up, and I brought up the T app. And she's like, oh, you wondering if you on there? And I'm like, let's go see.
Full on Mission Impossible type stuff. Yeah, there were men putting on wigs, using their female family members and friends to help them break into the app.
All right, fellas, I'm in. I broke the barrier. I had to put on a wig and all type of shit. Man, y'all hit me up and let me know if y'all want to put y'all name in this goddamn search. I'll search y'all
up, man.
But that wasn't enough for them. It was never enough. Once they got on the app, imagine all the devious thoughts running through their head once they were scrolling and then they happened to come across a post of themselves with 10 red flags. So eventually, they created a T app to expose the women.
When the guys come out with a T app equivalent, because you know they will, that gonna get wicked. And I don't want to hear anybody say that anybody is wrong.
And at first, no one took it seriously. And it was almost like a joke, especially once you heard the names of this app, like Spill the Beer and Matcha. Like, okay, you might have ate that one little thing, but we didn't take it serious. These men were just making their own version of what the women did, and there was really nothing criminal about that.
Boys, we did it. We came up with a T-app competitor, and it is called BoxScore. Probably the most disrespectful name we could have come up with for this app, but I'm very curious to see how the internet reacts to this, how men react to this.
Now, the moment it became criminal was once criminal activity was actually involved. Not only did these men expose women's behavior on this app, they exposed women's bodies. I'm talking about revenge, porn, women's intimate photos and videos, and it got...
Yeah, y'all was wrong for that. I guess I'll take that back what I said earlier. That women, y'all can't out petty women. I guess y'all did. Because that is crazy. Don't break the law to get even. That maybe this generation of dudes really is more sassy. Y'all supposed to keep it P. You know what I mean? But maybe this generation of men, not me, because I'm 30, I'm a millennial. You know what I mean? Maybe we're talking about Gen Z over here. Maybe y'all really is just more sassy for real. I don't know.
Real dark, real fast.
2 male TFs dropped last week, and both got taken down by the App Store. Take a guess why. They were showing videos of y'all getting cracked. The keeping men safe rhetoric wasn't there. Comments of, oh, she robbed me. She put her hands on me. No, none of that was there. It was, oh, she gave it on the first date. She let me hit on the first link. Then they dropping y'all social medias. Because men are asking, what's her at? They're selling y'all off. All because they didn't like the T app.
Now these retaliation.
And granted, I would like to say this. Think about it. Women, this is why it's different. And this is probably why men can't have that app. So I just thought about this as she was talking. Men and women hold different things valuable. We carry certain things to us matter the most, right? We value different things. Women value their reputation, their sexual reputation. That matters a lot to them. It's been a thing for a while. I mean, it's starting to matter a little bit less and less, but it matters for the most part. Their sexual reputation matters a lot. Like they hold that to that's why they named it, they try to name it the box score, because they know women value that, right? Men value their reputation too, but a lot of us men value like our things that mess with our ego, you know, like whether we are good in bed or whether we are protectors or providers or, you know, little things that mess with our ego that's gonna keep us from getting women, right? And the same thing, like, so we value things differently. So that's why I feel like instead of men talking about, oh, she robbed me or she set me up, or men, we a lot of us come from the streets, not all of us, but a good amount of us come from the streets. We ain't worrying about a woman outsmarting us in the street value. We worrying about if our woman is gonna have a jersey on for everybody else. You know what I mean? Having other dudes' jerseys on. That's what we worried about. We ain't worried about if she gonna rob me. A lot of us see that coming. You know what I mean? If you're a simp, probably not, but most of us can, right? So that's why, like, them exposing them sexually was the route they took, because they know women value that. Wrong, not justifying it. I'm just trying to put some context on why they probably took that route.
Apps were only up for like 24 hours, because what do you mean you're posting explicit videos? But at this point, the damage had already been done, and if you thought it couldn't get any worse, It did, because in the midst of all the retaliation and the revenge, the original T app was hit with a massive, and I mean massive, data breach. Remember earlier when we mentioned that you had to use a government issued ID to get into the app? Government issued ID to get approved on the app. Yeah, that. How about 13,000 of those IDs, including full names, birthdays?
13,000 is a lot, but nothing in comparison to it being the #1 app on the App Store. It would have to be like at least 1 million for me to say, damn. I mean, 13,000 is a lot though, but that ain't nothing. That's like a town.
Addresses.
Even less than that, probably.
Were leaked online for the whole world to see.
The T-App announcing a massive data breach to their systems last week. Roughly 72,000 images, including 13,000 verification selfies and images of government IDs.
Maybe not. It said 72,000. Okay, now we're talking. It's still not much compared to like 1 million, but still a lot though.
Leaked online. The company adding today some private direct messages were also accessed in the breach, and they have since disabled that function.
A lot of women had to use picture verification. So
someone created an app for the leaks from the T-Spill app, and God, dude, if you swipe through this shit, you're gonna you get a glimpse very quickly of why these people are judgmental and they think they have any room to talk about other people. It's like a hierarchy rank system. Holy shit. This one looks like a Skyrim, like create your own character. Like basically it pits two people against each other and you click one or the other and it progresses. Everybody's talking about it online. Got like millions of views on Twitter. There's a leaderboard. I'm not ranking women because I'm married. I'm not thinking about these people, but you know, click through it and you'll see like 99% of these people are unattractive and scary.
people were dragging these women through the mud, not to mention. And this wasn't a problem that could be fixed overnight. Women's real names, birth certificates, passports, any form of ID that they could use to verify themselves on this app, it was exposed and it was held against them.
They leaked the exact location of everybody who was on the T app. Yo! Let me really explain this to you. They looked at your driver's license, got the address off of it, and they posted it on an app that anybody can access. Every woman on that app is cooked.
This time, it wasn't the men that was doing the exposing. It was the same app that women trusted to protect their dating lives that ended up exposing their private lives instead. Now, there are speculations going on right now because a man actually posted a video and said that the T app was going to get hacked and women were going to rue the day, and then the next day they did.
The T app will soon have a data breach, and all the posts that people have made on there will not be anonymous anymore. And all the women who have been lying will be exposed for their lies. The fact of the matter is, data breaches are not uncommon. And the problem with the T app is it is designed to create enemies for itself. Now, what does that mean? By allowing a space for women to safely talk about men, it is inherently putting a target on their back. Because let's be honest, not all the women on that app are 100% honest about the men they talk about. All it takes is one man who just doesn't like the T app community to get access to everyone's information who's on the app.
The irony of all of this is,
he not lying. Like I said, these dudes, some of these dudes are techie. They might not even look like it, but they really tech like that. And all it takes is for one. Y'all heard about that one dude, that one kid that like hacked GTA 6? Just one kid. Did it, then when they locked him up, he did it again with the Amazon stick and a remote for a TV. Hacked it again. All it takes is one. This is a dangerous game. And stuff like this, like you say, is designed to create enemies. You just gotta this stuff is really creating a gender war, bro. And there's money to be made off of that gender war. That's why they keep doing it, because it's like, oh, this is inevitable and I can make money off this. Don't fall for the trap, y'all. Y'all gotta be better than that.
Insane, because this app was intended to protect women, but in the end, it ended up endangering a lot of them. Now, y'all do know on this channel, we celebrate women's rights, but we side-eye women's wrongs. And I do believe there was a point where we went wrong in all of this. I honestly believe the whole concept of this T app was messy. I mean, let's be for real, the app is called T. Now, we're not going to ignore the fact that, yes, this app was used to protect women from dangerous men. Maybe men carrying diseases and not disclosing it. Men who were abusive, controlling, stalkers. But it backfired on us completely when the nosiness and the pettiness entered the chat. When women stopped logging in for safety and started logging in for T, and then instead of checking to see if he was dangerous, they were checking to see if he was taken. That's when the app shifted. Because what started out as protection for these women ended up as screenshots, drama, and safety concerns. And once the internet realized that we couldn't even protect our own privacy, the internet did what it always does and used women's pain as content. No one deserves to be bullied, doxxed, have explicit photos leaked. No one deserves that. But that app was a ticking time bomb that a lot of us could see from a mile away. The moment it went viral, the moment men started retaliating, the moment it turned into a full-on gender war, a lot of women wanted to be messy instead of dipping, and then got shocked when men started using our own tools against us. This wasn't a win for anybody. It was just a reminder that when we stop moving smart, we give people the ammo to be able to flip it all back on us. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. If you like this video and all the messy drama of women getting exposed by the very app that was supposed to protect them, then you'll love hearing about how women are getting bullied for fixing the same face people told them to hate.
Damn, she on it. She on it. Hey, well, that pretty much conclude her video, but she said everything that pretty much needed to be said. I would just end with, yeah, just be a little bit more mindful by the way you do things. Try to be a little bit more original, a little bit more traditional in the way you go about with this dating stuff. A lot of people are petty online because they not in situations they wish they was, or they just petty. They ain't got nothing that, like, they want their real life to look like Love Island. Like, it don't gotta be like that. But that's what happens when you deal with people that move like that. So it's just sad to say, sad to see too. But I don't know. Y'all shout out to her. Shout out to Janae. Y'all can go follow her channel. Let me go show y'all. Janae Danielle. Go ahead and check her out. She right here, you know what I mean? I already subscribed on her last time I did a reaction. So shout out to her. But also subscribe to me. Hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time I drop another video. And join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. And remember, there is nothing impossible to they who try. Till next time I'm out. Dose.